Have you ever wondered what led to the infamous assassination of Julius Caesar, the man who was once the most powerful in Rome? Now let's take a stroll back in time to an era where Rome was the jewel of the world. It was here that Julius Caesar began his rise to power. A military genius, Caesar racked up victories, expanding Rome's territories and influence. His charisma and leadership brought him immense popularity among the Roman citizens, but his growing power also created unease. Rome, a republic at heart, feared the idea of a king. Caesar's accomplishments, though remarkable, began to stir up a sense of trepidation among the senators. They saw in him a threat to their power and the republic's principles. The public too, though enamored by Caesar's charisma, began to question his intentions. As Caesar's power grew, so did the discontent among the senators, setting the stage for an event that would shock Rome to its core. A conspiracy was brewing in the heart of Rome, a plot to take down the mighty Caesar. A clandestine gathering of Rome's most respected senators, among them Brutus, a man of honor and Caesar's friend, and Cassius, a seasoned soldier and shrewd politician, was in the works. They were united by a common cause, to protect the Republic from what they perceived as Caesar's ambition for absolute power. This group, later known as the Liberators, was not just a motley crew of discontented politicians. They were Rome's elite, men of stature and influence, each with their own reasons for wanting Caesar gone. Brutus, for instance, was swayed by the belief that Caesar's death was necessary for the preservation of Roman freedom. Cassius, on the other hand, was driven by personal enmity and political rivalry. The conspirators knew they needed to act swiftly and decisively. They decided to carry out their plot on a day imbued with cultural significance, the Ides of March, a date in the Roman calendar that corresponds to the 15th of March. The choice wasn't random. The Ides of March was traditionally a deadline for settling debts, a fitting metaphor for the debt they believed Caesar owed to Rome. Their plan was set. The wheels of conspiracy were in motion. Their target, Julius Caesar, the most powerful man in Rome. The Ides of March was chosen, a day that would be remembered throughout history. The Ides of March arrived, a day that would forever be stained with the blood of Julius Caesar. As the sun rose on that fateful day, a plot was set in motion that would change the course of Roman history. Julius Caesar, the man who had defied tradition, defied the Senate and even defied fate, was lured to the Senate under the pretense of a legislative session. Unbeknownst to Caesar, the very men he considered allies had conspired against him. As he entered the Senate, he was surrounded, and the attack commenced. Each conspirator took their turn, striking at the man who they believed was becoming too powerful, threatening the very republic they vowed to protect. Among the flurry of betrayal, Caesar, the great general who had faced countless battles, found himself cornered and defenseless. He fought, but with every passing second, his strength waned. He looked around, seeing not the faces of enemies but those of friends, of Romans. And then, his gaze fell upon Brutus. Brutus, his friend, his ally, his protege. As Brutus approached, Caesar, now weak and defeated, uttered the famous last words, "Et tu, Brute?" "And you, Brutus?" A question, a plea, a realization of the depth of the betrayal. With that, the final blow was struck. And so, Julius Caesar, the most powerful man in Rome, met his end not on the battlefield but in the Senate. The assassination of Julius Caesar sent shockwaves throughout Rome and the entire Roman Empire. This was a seismic event marking the end of Rome as a republic and the birth of the Roman Empire. In the immediate aftermath, chaos reigned. The public was aghast, mourning the loss of a leader many saw as a champion of the people. Yet others saw opportunity in chaos. Power struggles ensued, with many vying to fill the vacuum left by Caesar's death. Key players like Mark Antony and Octavian, Caesar's adopted son, emerged. They waged a brutal civil war against the conspirators, ultimately leading to the establishment of the Roman Empire. The death of Caesar, therefore, was not just an end, but a beginning. It set in motion a chain of events that would shape the course of history. The assassination of Julius Caesar, a pivotal moment in history, remains a powerful reminder of the consequences of absolute power and the lengths people will go to preserve their own.